numerologist, a soul coach, and a Welcome, Sun and Sunsets, to the Happy Network. My name is Reverend Sierra Meeks, and I'm a numerologist, a spiritual hypnotist, and a soul coach. And I'm so glad that you are joining me today. If you are a subscriber, I would like to say thank you so much for supporting me. And if you are new to this channel, I will say thank you so much for stopping by. And if this is something that you would enjoy, please come on in and join this spiritual family. Now let's get started. Personal year review for 2023. And I want to remind you that I am going to be uploading personal years for 2024 within the next 2 weeks. So make sure you stop by and watch those videos and share them with your friends and family, okay? So personal year review 2023. This was my year 9. And man, let me tell you, I went through another spiritual journey. It's like, how many more journeys do I have to go on, right? But I did go through another spiritual journey this year. And what was crazy is that my friend, who also does readings for me sometimes, I really don't like doing readings, but I talked with her at the beginning of the year because I just felt like I needed to talk to her. She's also in her year 9, so we always like compare about what's going on with us, and she just so happened to be a psychic and a reader as well. So we talked, and she did tell me that I will be going through a spiritual awakening this year, and if there's some things that just want to leave my life, just let them go with no resistance, with no hesitation, with no try to hold on. Just let it go, let it leave. And but we both were in our year 9, so I know a lot of that information resonated with her as well. So definitely listen to this audio and hear what she says about this.
For your highest path to align with. And what this really means, what this really is talking about, is if you want to sort of go to the highest timeline that's available, this is the information that you need to know. Mm-hmm. So what you have, this is so interesting, you have allowing things to fall apart and to sort of leave them, let them go without resistance. So anything in your life right now that is ending or feels like it's chaotic, like you can just let it run its course without trying to stop it. Don't try to fix anything right now. It's really about letting it sort of break down if it needs to. Next 6 weeks you have divine guidance and sort of like an angel on your shoulder, divine assistance, everything being returned to balance and harmony. And you have this deep spiritual journey. This is what's coming up like right now. And this sort of planting the right seeds. So you're on the right track, and this is definitely like what's coming up is very peaceful and a lot more concordant. I don't even know if that's the right word, but harmonized, smooth. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you do have the trip coming up. And that going very well. That feels perfect. And it's funny, this is how literal the tarot can be. You're even like with a child. Mm-hmm. So
wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
It's going to be, it's perfect. It's perfect timing.
So let's talk about this personal year review. And if you would like to share, what has gone on this year for you, please leave a comment below. I am hoping to start a Monday review on my Instagram where I can call people up and talk to people one-on-one, about their personal year and what to look for next year. So if that is something that you would enjoy and would enjoy being a part of, would love to come up and talk to me on Instagram, leave a 1 in the comments below, and that will help me to see how many people will be interested, and possibly I'll do something like that before the beginning of 2024. All right, so let's talk personal year review for me. I told my sister last year I had a dream. I have very vivid dreams, and I told my sister last year, I said, one of our parents is going to die in 2023. And she said, well, I hope it's not mom, and I don't want dad to die either. I was like, well, you better get ready, because one of them is going to die. And we joked about my dad, because we were saying we hope it's not him, because he's married to a certain person. And we knew that if something happened to him, she wouldn't give us any of his things, right? It would be a challenge to try to even come back in their house after he passed. And so moving forward, my mom ended up having surgery in February, and I said, it may be my mom, since she's going to have surgery in February. I didn't know which parent it would be, but I did know it would be one of my parents. And if you go back to look at any of my videos, you will see that I talk about in your year 9, you can have a loss of a relationship, a soulmate type relationship, or karmic relationship, or you can have loss. You can have a loss of a loved one, a family member, in your family in your year 9. So and I always tell people this, right? But I told my sister, but it just never registered that it was, it was gonna happen, right? I knew it would happen, but I did not allow it to play over in my mind every day. And so in February, my mom had surgery, and then my dad ended up getting sick. And my dad was like me; he doesn't eat meat, and he was small, he was thin, he was in shape, so he never got sick, never was in the hospital. He was pretty much doing holistic health for himself, and he got sick. He got sick, and he passed away in April on my son's birthday. So he passed away in April, my son's birthday, and that was the first thing. And so after that, I was just there for my family, for my mom. My mom and dad are divorced. They divorced when I was 3. But I was there for my mom, because she had surgery, and I was going back and forth to my hometown for her, for my dad when he was getting sick, and then when he passed away. Matter of fact, I was driving when they said you probably want to get home. And matter of fact, when they told me, when he went into the hospital the last time, his wife said that he didn't want us to call up there. He didn't want my sister and I to come up there. Whenever he's ready, he'll let us know what's wrong. And I thought that was strange, because I'm like, well, how will he give her authority? They both in their 70s, so how is he going to give her that authority to try to handle that, right? And then on that Friday, I told my sister, I had woke up and I told my ex now, that I had a bad feeling. I'm like, I have this feeling in my stomach that it's like I'm waiting for bad news. And so at this point, like, my dad had been in and out of the hospital, so I didn't believe that this was going to be the time. But I just knew I had this feeling I couldn't eat anything. I could not concentrate on anything. Only thing I knew, that I was waiting on a call for bad news. So I told my sister, this was 2 days in a row. This was Thursday and Friday. So this was actually on Thursday. Because I told my sister, I was like, just go up there anyway. She was like, no, I'm going to respect her wishes. So she said for us not to come up there, so I'm not going to come up there. And I'm like, I have this feeling, I think you need to go. And so on Friday, my son's birthday, my oldest son, they called and they said that my sister called. She was like, I have to rush up there to the hospital. She's calling me to come up there. They said that he's gone for the words, or however you say it. And then I said, okay, well, I just threw everything in the suitcase, and my youngest son and I hopped on the road. It's a 5-hour drive, and within 2 hours he had passed. And so I went there, ended up still going there, and I stayed a couple hours and never shed a tear, because at this point I was having all of these, like, why you just didn't say anything? Or, you could have allowed us to say goodbye we wasn't, if your wishes were not to be resuscitated, I would have respected that. I'm assuming my sister would have respected that as well. Then we could have at least said our goodbyes and gave you a hug and kiss, at least for me, because I couldn't do that. She was at the hospital. She was able to give him, you know, as his presence was still there, as he probably was sitting by the bed out of the shell. Once he crossed over, he probably was there, you know, with her, comforting her. But I never got that opportunity, right? Because I was driving. And so when I went home for a few days, and then I came back because my son had to go back to school. So when I came back, we was waiting on the funeral. He had a veteran's funeral, and if you guys know about the veteran's funeral, it takes a while for them to be able to get everything together. So when I got back home, I was in my room and I was sitting on my bed with my dog. And I just turned over to I looked to my right, and there was a water bottle halfway full, it was half empty, on my nightstand. And I was staring at the water bottle, like, I don't know why, but I was just staring at this water bottle. And then I just gently turned my head towards my dog, and the water bottle dropped to the floor and went boom. And then when I turned back, I'm just like, why are you here? Why are you here? You didn't give me an opportunity to say goodbye. You didn't allow me to touch you, to hug you, to do anything. So why are you here now? We can't do anything. Now, I knew that was him. I knew that was his presence, and I knew that he manipulated that water bottle to fall on the floor. And I refused, at that moment, I refused to say, I forgive you. I just said, just leave my house, because I don't want to talk to you. And for those of you who are like, how did you know, right? As you know, I'm a spiritual hypnotist, so I do deal with a lot of spirits when they cross over and they are earthbound. So I knew that once my dad didn't believe in anything that I did, by the way, okay? He even questioned me being a reverend, a metaphysics, a reverend by way of metaphysics. And so he was Christian. He was, and he always, called and said, you need to love God, as if I don't love God, right? He was like, you need to follow God, follow Jesus, or you're going to hell. In his mind, I was all about, going to hell or whatever. So he never respected my position. He didn't understand that I'm just spiritual. I'm not religious. I love God, like the next man. God is within me. Jesus is my brother. I just not connected with that whole religion side anymore. So I guess once he crossed over, he saw my light. And he saw that I'm guided by God. God guides me every day. He guides me in what I should talk about. He guides me in my daily walk. He sends my angels to come and protect me when I'm doing my sessions. He sent my dog to me, my pit lab. He sent my dog to me. If you haven't seen that video, go watch that video. But my dog was, I was highly allergic to dogs all my life. And when I started to do hypnosis, because I deal with so much of the spirit world, I received this puppy, and he removed my asthma completely from me. I have no more asthma, no more allergies towards my dog. Now, if some other dog come around, I would still have effects, but my dog, I have no I'm not allergic to my dog at all, and my dog sleeps with me, so that lets you know that I was healed, so I can receive this gift from God. And none of that mattered to him. But once he crossed over, he saw my light, and he realized I was wrong all that time. She is led by God. She is in the light, in the spirit. And so that's one of his incidents. He knocked over my bottle of water. And then it's crazy because I called another friend who's a medium, and she said, your dad is here with us. And I'm like, here with us? I'm on the phone with you. She's like, and I was just getting ready to tell her about my water bottle incident, right? And she said, your dad is here and he wants me to give you this message. And she just started talking about he's sorry. He wasn't there for you growing up. You had to go through these different relationships, and he was not the father that he should have been, and he accused me of being, like a devil worshiper and all this other stuff, and he's sorry about that. He see my light. I mean, she just gave me a long message, and I was like, okay. And so after that, I wrote a letter to him, and I said, I forgive you, a long letter, and then I burned the letter because it's pointless to keep it. It's for him, so he would, once the letter is burned, then the words will rise to the universe and will reach him. And so I thought that would be it. But later on, my dad started to send me black feathers. Now, it could have been my dad. I don't know for sure. If you haven't watched that video, please go check that black feathers video, because I was finding black feathers this year as well. So I want to let you guys know that the angels are doing more synchronicities than just angel numbers, because a lot of us have gotten so accustomed to seeing angel numbers, it doesn't register with us that there's a message involved. So we'll see 11, 11, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, and then we would just ignore it because we're so used and conditioned to seeing it now, and it's like nothing else, right? It's just like looking at the time. So now they're starting to do more synchronicities in different forms. So first for me, it was black feathers. So I was seeing, after my dad passed, I started seeing a lot of black feathers. And so I did a really good video about that. Now that video, that sign from me, from the angels, it could have been because one of the signs for seeing black feathers is that your loved one is giving you a message that they're sorry. They couldn't tell you to forgive them before they left here. So that's one of the messages. So that resonated with me. But then also the black feathers also represents twin flames. So moving forward, I had work done on in my home, so we had to stay in a hotel for a week. We was displaced. It was just so many things going on in this year, in 2023, from January probably up until July. And so after that, actually in February, I kept my great niece. I had a dream last year that in my mind it said, it's time. She's 3 years old now. I didn't know who was 3. I didn't know what they was talking about. I just woke up and like, okay, she's 3 years old now. Do I need to adopt a little girl? Do I need to have a little girl? And so later on, the same friend who confirmed that I will be going through a spiritual journey this year, she also confirmed that I will be taking care of a little girl. And so when my mom has custody of my great niece, who's 4. She's 4 now. She was 3 last year. And I had to keep her for a month when she had surgery. So moving past the funeral part, my mom did say that she wanted me to raise her now, because she felt like it was time for her to give her to me and let me raise her from here on out. And then right when I was getting everything together, in July for her to come here, I got my house renovated. I got a room set aside for her. My mom changed her mind. She said she wasn't ready. And so that did something to me. It was like snatching love out of my heart, because I don't have any girls. I have all boys. And I really, really wanted that opportunity to raise her and teach her things. And as they say, a child is programmed from 0 to 7. So I thought 4 was a perfect age to start really working with her and working with her energy, and letting her know that certain things are okay to do, certain things are okay to feel. Just really, truly doing things for her that I didn't get to do with my children, because I didn't discover numerology until I was older, until my children were older. And so I was excited about that. I was excited, even though I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 in January. That I was still looking forward to giving up my life for this 4-year-old, my great niece. So my mom snatched my heart out of my chest with that, and it took me a couple months to actually recover from that. And then right after that, I have been in a twin flame relationship for 27 years, the father of my children, and on and off, toxic, karmic twin flame, where we came together when neither one of us was ready. We was not healed. I guess this was our lifetime to evolve each other, and I evolved. I became spiritual. I evolved. I've been working on myself. However, he has not, and I found out, even though we were on again, off again, but we would still love each other. When we came together, it was like magic. But when we pull apart, it's like chaos, right? And because he has not did the work. So I found out recently that he moved in. I mean, he has a place with someone. He didn't even tell me. And so that also was another, that was hard for me to go through this year. It was another thing that I had to cross over and get through. So it's been a lot this year for me, right? A lot of loss, endings, a lot of transformations. Because when you're dealing with a twin flame, and I want you guys to understand, yes, 27 years, but it wasn't just a 27-year relationship that was just, you know, on again, off again. This was a twin flame relationship. This person, I have been in many past lifetimes with him, and we were doing the same thing. I was trying to evolve and trying to bring him along to evolve, and he would never evolve. He would stay the same. The ego every lifetime took over. And but this time I really thought that as long as I stay in it, we could make it happen. We can finally get to that point that you know, the union could stay, and it won't be a runner or a chaser or anyone like that. But once I found out that news, the bond was broken. We will always be twin flames, and I know there is some controversy out there about twin flames, but I'm telling you guys, I don't care what these people say, that you have more than one twin flame, or your twin flames are not really twin. I don't care, but I know this person, sometimes I could just breathe in his breath, and he can breathe out and I breathe it in. That's how bonded we were. Every time I would see my date of birth, 119, I know he's getting ready to call me, or he's thinking about me, or he's going to come by. So every time, and if I see my birthday 119 multiple times a day, I know that he's really thinking about me, but we're not talking at that moment, but I am on his mind. There were so many things that was synced, that we would be synced together with, and our lives, but it was karmic. And again, this was just another lifetime for us to evolve. And so now I'm able to move on, guys. I'm able to, that was hard for me. I went through it, and you have to watch the next video, because there's a video about some doves. So doves, morning doves showed up right after I found out this information, when I was really going through it, because I've gone through it a lot with him, right? And every time I go through it, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I can't function. Like literally, it's like my heart just comes completely out of my chest, and I'm holding it in my hands. That's how connected and bonded we are. It's like we could be going at it, but as soon as I see him, all of that goes away. Like it's instant. Like I need to just breathe in your breath, and so I can feel better. I need that energy inside of me. But so I was going through it when I found out. Like I was literally going back through down again, where my energy was low. I couldn't eat. My stomach was all in knots. My focus was off. But then some doves, one dove showed up at my house 3 days in a row, right after, like less than probably 2 days after this happened. And I was like, I'm probably the third day, I was at my worst day. Like I cannot believe this. And I dropped my son off at school, and then I came home, and there was a dove sitting, and I'm gonna have a picture for you guys, but there was a dove sitting on my right in front of my door at my house. And the dove was like, if this is the bay window and this is the front door, the dove was sitting right here just looking at the bay window, just sitting there looking, right? And I got out the car, and I'm thinking like, there's a bird that's like right here on the ground. Like, you never see birds on the ground unless they're crows or something, right? They're always up in the tree, but it was like literally right down looking straight at my house, right there in front of the door. If I was inside the house, I would open up the door, you would see the dove, the morning dove. And so then when I get out the car and I kind of walk up towards the dove, it turns around, looks at me, and it walks off like this, right? And then it flies up. And I'm thinking, man, that's strange. And it didn't even dawn on me to take a picture. Like, I promise you guys, like when you're in it, it just doesn't seem, just like with the black feathers. I saw 3 black feathers, and it didn't even dawn on me to say, okay, it's time to take a picture of these feathers. They just showing up. And so anyhow, the next day I dropped my son off at school. I come back home, and there's the dove again in the same spot, looking at that bay window in front of my house, like literally right in front of the window. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why is this? What kind of bird is this? Like, I didn't even know it was a dove until I took the picture. I mean, I didn't take the picture, but I started to research. I wrote down like all the colors and how it looked, kind of sketched it out. And then when I started to do my research, I was like, this is a dove. Like, the colors, everything, perfect match with the gray, the brown, grayish brown with the little blue specks. It was a morning dove. So the third day, I went and picked up my son. I went to drop off my son again, and this time my dog was in the car with me. And when we got out the car, instead of it being right there on the porch, like, it was in the grass, and it was looking right at the window in the grass, another window, but in the front of my house. But the dove was on the grass at the bottom. And then as soon as I get out the car and my dog gets out, of course he scares the dove, and it flies up on top of my gate, and then flies in the tree. So that was the third day. And by that time I said, okay, this is angels. What are you trying to tell me? What is the message in this, right? So guys, you have to watch the next video on the morning dove and the meaning to it, because it will explain a lot of this. And so anyhow, I started researching what that meant, and then it gave me some clarity. It gave me some healing that I needed, and it helped me to put things into perspective about what happened, what needed to happen, and why it needed to happen at this time. Of course, this is my 9th year, and if you know 27 years, there's three 9-year cycles. 3 9-year cycles, guys. 3. And so I guess God say, enough is enough. It's time. It's time for you. I got somewhere for you to go, somewhere for you to be, some people for you to meet, some people for you to talk to, counsel. And God was like, it's time. You have to, we got to go. He's going to be there again. We can't wait no more. We got to go. And so instantly after the doves happened, it was just one, I changed. Like, I accepted that, and I said, I'm ready for a change. I'm ready to let go. And if you know anything about this 9 year, if you watch my videos, 9 is about letting go, transformation, forgiveness, being there for your family, or your community, just giving a part of yourself to someone else who was in need. And I was there for my family. It's also about endings with it. My dad passed away, forgiveness, and also endings, and then with him. So it was a lot. it was truly a spiritual journey. Parts of it I didn't understand, but I had a lot of synchronicities that was not numbers. Now, last year, the numbers were like coming like crazy. All I saw was 1111, 111, 222, 1010, 1212. Those were the numbers that I would see all year long. And so maybe I'm thinking that they was preparing me for the spiritual journey that I had to partake in this year. So that's my story, guys. I hope it wasn't too long, but please share what you have been dealing with. And also too, financially, you know, I teach you guys that in your year 9, you're going to be doing a lot for people, and it may not come with a return on your investment, so to speak. Okay, but the universe will reward you. I went this whole entire year and I haven't worked. I haven't had any clients because I kind of took off from my clients. I kind of closed my calendar up and just devoted myself to my family. So money was very scarce this year for me. However, I know that the universe has a surprise for me, and the universe is going to reward me greatly. So I didn't really miss out on anything. I just, you know, I was there where I was needed. Wherever I was needed, I was there. I was traveling back and forth all this year to the point I'm like, I'm done traveling. I don't want to travel anymore. Back and forth to my hometown. It's like I want a real vacation now. So just understand, if you're going into your 9th year, you know, it can be rewarding and it can be tough. All years are rewarding because it gives you a chance and the opportunity to evolve, right? Evolve spiritually, evolve to the next level of where you need to be, and also to expand your awareness, your consciousness. So just understand that every year give us an opportunity to learn, to live, to love. All right, learn to live, to love. And I did just that. I did. I lost my dad, but then I forgave my dad, and now I feel much better. And so the feathers, the dove, all of those synchronicities and signs, and I'm sure there were more signs too. But and what's crazy is that one time I had a shaman last year. A shaman had worked on me because I work on myself. I have to. I can't be out here with you guys teaching and preaching and helping if I don't work on myself. So I constantly work on myself. When my trigger shows up with things like my twin flame, when we go through it, but this was the end for that. So I know I'm gonna have to really clear myself now to prepare myself, because I'm not closing doors and closing shop. I am really preparing myself to meet a soulmate. I've been through it with my karmic. So now I believe it is time to have something sweet, to something smooth, something endearing, and something that's just right for me, that's going to be there for me, support me as I would do that for them. You know, it will be that equal type of love, unconditional love. And I believe, and I know for sure that he's coming. And I've delayed it. Like I said, I went through 3 9-year cycles. And I know I've delayed this process because I've been told for the last 5 years that he was waiting. He was in waiting mode to meet me. And his higher self and my higher self had him in waiting mode because it wasn't time, because I had to get through my karmic twin flame relationship and learn how to build back up my worth and my and everything that all of my lessons that I had to learn from him. I had to get over them and I had to learn them. And what was crazy is that on 11/11/2020, one of my friends, I was doing a hypnosis session on her. She was my client at the time. She's my friend now, but she's a medium. And I had a celestial being from Jupiter to come through when she was in trance. And they told me that, you know, I would have to go through this with him. But after this lifetime, I would never have to reincarnate with him again. And they also said that there is someone that's coming for me this year. Coming for me. And once I go through this, right? But don't rush the future. Don't rush universe, because it will happen when it's supposed to happen. And sure enough, that was 2020. We are in 2023, and it has happened. And I didn't force it. I didn't. It unfolded the way it was supposed to. So I am looking forward to that man, that person that I have been told and shown, even in my dreams, that he is coming, and I'm preparing space for him. So moving right along, yes, please comment below on what you have experienced, good, bad, just talk about. I hope that you journal. That's one thing that I'm going to emphasize. And I may even get a journal started for you guys. It may not be one of those big ones that you carry around, it just may be a journal. Say this is your personal year, you write whatever year. Let's get these notes, these entries in this journal every day for your personal year that you're going into, because it's very important. If I would have written down all of my dreams that I've had this year, it would have, most of them I did, but all of the synchronicities and all of the things I dreamed about, twin girls that I rescued on the side of a highway, that somebody was giving birth to, twin girls. And then when I went to find out what that was all about, it was about receiving money, and I actually received 2 checks right after that, so big checks too. So it's really good to journal, so you can reflect back to what the year looked like, because sometimes we can say, oh, it was so bad, this happened, I never got that job I wanted, I never was able to move, but honestly, you would have had time, or if you journaled everything, you could have gone back and read what you was experienced, and see what could have happened and what didn't happen. And so for me, for this year, I know that there was a lot of things that was going on that I wanted to do, and I didn't get a chance to do those things because I was still caught in my feelings about my dad, my twin flame, a lot of stuff. And so a lot of things that I wanted to do this year, I didn't get a chance. So I'm hoping that the universe, in my year 1 next year, my new beginnings, I think I'm gonna get just new beginnings tattooed across my forehead, because I am so ready and looking forward to these new beginnings, guys. You just don't understand. Like, I am truly ready for this new beginning, and walk you guys through your personal year. Now, in my personal year 8, that was a year that I was doing a lot of helping other people, and I think that was my repay. Instead of me manifesting, good things to come, I think that was my year to pay back people who have helped me along the run. So I did a lot for people in my year 8, and again in my year 9. So I think that's just me doing what I come here to do, just unconditionally giving to people with just love, and not requiring anything back from it. I had no regrets this year, this year. And so, as you know, and I don't know if you know this or not, but October is actually the beginning of the new physical year. Even though the calendars say January, October is actually the new year. That's when the new year begins, start over again. So if you're starting to feel some things that kind of make you feel like that's going to be for next year, is because you already are in the next year right now. 2024 is happening right now. So that's why things are clearing out my life like this. They just one after another, clearing out, closing up these doors, closing up these chapters. And guys, I just got my master's. Well, I didn't just get it, but I've had it. I just haven't announced it. And but I did get my master's in metaphysics, so I would be stepping into 2024 in this year, writing my dissertation. And actually, I'm doing my dissertation on numerology. So I will be having a PhD in metaphysics of science. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy about that. Specializing in numerology. So I would be Dr. Cynthia Renee Meeks, or Dr. CR Meeks, whatever I want to call myself. I don't know yet. I may stick with Reverend. I don't know, but I'm excited about that. And and that just came out of the blue. I turned this paper in a long time ago, right? A long time ago, and I had to do a lot of revisions, but they just got back around to me and letting me know that my master's was approved, and that my thesis was approved. It passed. And all of my homework passed, and I officially have a master's in metaphysics. Okay, so that's exciting, right? So like I said, a lot of good things, a lot of things that needed to balance in this year 9, and that's what 9 is all about. It's about balancing, transformation, endings, forgiveness, being there for others, worthiness, right? I know me, and I love me, and I want nothing but the best for me. And my name is Reverend CR Meeks. This is the Happy Network. I'm so glad that you joined me today. I am a hypnotist, a spiritual hypnotist, a soul coach, and a numerologist. And if you would like to book a free consultation with me, all you have to do is click that link below for free consultation, and then we can get that appointment scheduled. So we can talk freely, all right? And if you feel like all that resonated with you, you want to book an appointment with me, all you got to do is talk to me about that, going to the next level, okay? Take care of yourself, love yourself, and love others always. Bye for now.